My name is Heather Sturdivant, and I will be doing a speech evaluation on Hillary Clinton's speech from the United Nations Fourth World Conference on Women Plenary Session. Her speech was a very clear demonstration of trying to persuade and inform her audience. Mrs. Clinton started with thanking the crowd and then informed the audience of her purpose. She opened with a very few strong statistics, and then she went on to address women's health issues in the world, and she focused on that in her entire speech. I feel as though Hillary really tried to persuade the audience and show every person that attended the conference that she meant well. She would not stop pushing for women's rights to be even more equal than they already are for quite a while. For example, as written in Mrs. Clinton's speech, produced by AmericanRhetoric.com by Michael E. Edenmuller, she states that women comprise more than half the world's population, 70% of the world's poor, and also 2/3 of those who are not taught to read and write. With strong, powerful statistics like this, Mrs. Clinton did a great job startling her audience to try and persuade each one of them. I find that Mrs. Clinton's speech is important, and it plays its part in history because she fought so hard for so long to clear so many obstacles for women everywhere. She has made a real impact on trying to help women in the world. Mrs. Clinton states, "Women and children make up a large majority of the world's refugees." I'm sure that many statements like this were delivered at the United Nations Fourth World Conference in Beijing, China, and they were not unfamiliar ones to the crowd that Mrs. Clinton was speaking to. She delivered her speech to representatives that were very used to hearing this kind of statistics at these conferences, and they probably get the same type of action-packed speeches to listen to at each one of them. As she was going through her speech, she made it very clear that she's trying to get the point across that women need to be recognized and stood up for, just like anyone else in the world. Overall, I would say that Mrs. Clinton tried to startle the audience with horrible statistics. She also repeated some of those over again to really impact what she said and for the entire audience to understand that she really meant it. She used nothing but a confident body language as well, and wanted each and every person in the audience to know how serious the issue was and how strongly she stood up for it, and just how important it really was to the world.